Perfect.
Damn, there's nothing here either. Nothing ever happens around here.
Have a target in sight.
I don't know how things are gonna go back to the way they were now.
Set. I have the drone. Drone's out.
Ghost lead. We're set.
Welcome back everyone, Meanpooh here, and this is 10 of the best free multiplayer games to play on the Acer Nitro 5. And possibly on some other systems as well.
Number 1.
What we have here is an MMO with nothing but just tanks. Yes, it's World of Tanks, and you will take them into battle to destroy the opposition who will be trying to do the same to you. The tanks are in many classes. You have light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, and tank destroyers, each one having different weaknesses and advantages. These tanks are also spread over different nations such as Britain, China, France, Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, and more. You will have around 400 vehicles to upgrade and possibly unlock. All vehicles can be customized to a certain degree, either visually or in terms of performance, with the majority of parts such as turrets and engines being modular parts purchased from the game's tech tree. All vehicles can mount 3 pieces of additional equipment, which varies from vehicle to vehicle and also offers various advantages. When you first launch the game, you're prompted to complete the boot camp. It's a training course designed to help you learn the game's basics in a real battle. After completing it, you'll head to your garage. This is where you view all your vehicles, research and buy new vehicles, train your crews, chat with other players, and start your battles. The game uses credits that you will spend to buy new modules, equipment, and vehicles. You also earn experience as you play, so you can research new modules. There's also other currencies such as bonds and gold. Some modules to research are guns, turrets, suspension, engines, and radios. There are also different types of ammunitions, being armor-piercing and high explosive, for example. Like most multiplayer games, you can chat with your team using the wheel to give orders such as reloading, defend the base, help, etc. There's a lot more in this game to dive into, but it would take extremely too long. On the other hand, if you are looking for some great action and would love to last longer than just 4 minutes on the battlefield, don't hesitate to pick this up.
Number 2.
Planetside 2 is a fast-paced game with battles taking place between thousands of troops. Not only will you be shooting it out on the ground, but in the air as well. Action will take place in open fields, tight corridors, or on top of large structures. Planetside 2 features huge continental maps with dozens of square kilometers to plan your battle. The battle will take place over the planet... You know what? I can't pronounce this. Can you help me out?
Orgies.
Yeah, with 4 continents that are available for access. That might not sound like a lot, but when you factor the map of Endar, which is composed of 3 warp gates and 86 regions, this is huge. Just try walking on foot and you'll see that I'm not joking. There are 6 different classes to choose from: light assault, heavy assault, combat medic, engineer, infiltrator, and the mechanized assault exosuit, which really is a heavy infantry class that is a step up from the heavy assault class. The Max is considered a vehicle because of its size and weaponry. All classes have a secondary attack or support. For example, the Combat Medic's handheld medical applicator provides them with the primary means to make a squad of wounded soldiers fit to fight again. Or, in other words, heal them up. All weapons and combat roles have an extensive tree that will allow you to customize to your playstyle. You will have access to weapons such as shotguns, battle rifles, and sniper rifles. It just depends on which class you choose. For example, the Infiltrator will have the sniper rifle, the Combat Medic will have an assault rifle, and the Heavy Assault will have the light machine gun. It's pretty much like the standard military games such as the Battlefield series. There are many vehicles available in the game that you can customize. One is called the Flash, and it looks like an ATV. It's a light two-man vehicle with a variety of uses and an incredibly low resource cost. It can be outfitted with up to 8 different weapons. There's also the Liberator, which is a 3-man gunship. The nose guns are useful for preliminary damage, and the bombardier weapons of the Liberator are some of the most powerful single weapons in-game, capable of terrorizing ground targets and providing strong defense against enemy aircraft. Like many other war games, you'll choose a side. Planetside calls them empires, and there are 4 of them. Each one has unique weapons, attachments, vehicles, abilities, and more. The game can be overwhelming when you first try, but after a while you'll get used to it. If you ever find yourself lost, there will be a button that will immediately get you to the action, as the playing field is always moving. If you're looking for a free Battlefield alternative, this is a great choice.
Number 3.
In Path of Exile, you'll play a character that has been exiled from their homeland to the corrupted and deeply hostile continent. You know, this is another one of those words that I can't pronounce because it's spelled very differently, but I'm going to try to pronounce it Ruclast. I think that's how you pronounce that. Anyway, you'll have to develop your skills and discover powerful magical artifacts in order to survive the challenges of a cutthroat post-apocalyptic fantasy world. Path of Exile will immerse you in a gritty and realistic art style. Combat is especially visceral with plenty of blood and gore. Classified as a competitive online action RPG, it has little in common with games that are typically given the MMORPG moniker. World areas are instants, meaning that each party gets its own private, randomly generated copy of a given area. The random templates for these areas have been designed with low player cap in mind, potentially in the region of 4 to 8 players per instance. It's to make the areas exciting and challenging for small groups. Areas supporting player versus player combat, or PvP, have larger player caps so that multiple teams can fight against each other. Communal areas such as towns do not have low player cap limitations and serve as a hub for trading and finding other players to group up with. Path of Exile features randomly generated indoors and outdoors areas, a quality that ensures long-term replayability. There are 6 classes to choose from. The Marauder, whose core attribute is strength and has a combat focus of weapon damage and tanking. The Ranger, whose core attribute is dexterity and has a combat focus of weapon damage and support. The Templar, whose core attribute is strength and intelligence, has a combat focus of 3, which are weapon damage, elemental damage, and tanking. The others are Witch, Duelist, and the Shadow class. Skills will also have to be used to successfully complete your missions. Skills in Path of Exile fall into 2 main categories: active skills and passive skills. There are no class restrictions on which skills can be used, so any class can use any skill, passive or active. Passive skills require no special action from you to provide a benefit. They may include effects such as always on buffs or enhancements to various types of actions that occur automatically. Passive skills are acquired by spending skill points. When a point is spent on a skill, the character also receives a permanent bonus to that skill's attribute. Every character in Path of Exile has access to the passive skill tree. The choices you make in this tree determine your character's stats, while giving the bonuses such as extra wand damage or increased attack speed with a certain weapon. Active skills must be used or cast to have an effect, such as spells and special attacks or maneuvers. You'll gain access to active skills by equipping items socketed with the skill gems. These skill gems gain experience while equipped, becoming more powerful as they level up. Active skills may be assigned to the right and center mouse buttons, as well as the Q, W, E, R, and T keys. Skills such as the Ice Spear are real powerful and can be real handy. When activated, the skill launches a shard of ice that pierces close enemies before exploding on a distant enemy with a much higher critical strike chance, and has 20 levels to upgrade. If you're looking for something close to Diablo, you will not be disappointed. Enemies are strong and varied, and the game is completely free.
Number 4.
I gotta confess, I used to play Vainglory a lot, and this was on an iPhone. I thought it was the best game I've played mobile-wise. When I started making this video, I could not believe the amount of characters you can choose from. It's insane. I have never played this game before, but I have heard of it, and that was as far as I went with it. Dota 2, or its long name, Defense of the Ancients, is a multiplayer online battle arena developed by Valve. The game is played in matches between 2 teams of 5 players, with each team occupying and defending their own separate base on the map. Each of the 10 players independently control powerful characters known as a hero, who all have unique abilities and differing styles of play. During a match, you'll collect experience points and items for your heroes to successfully defeat the opposing team's heroes in player versus player combat. During a match, you'll collect experience points and items for your heroes to successfully defeat the opposing team's heroes in a player versus player combat. A team wins by being the first to destroy a large structure located in the opposing team's base called the Ancient. Unlike Vainglory, Dota 2 has a very steep learning curve and overall complexity. The game is controlled using standard real-time strategy controls and is presented on a single map in a 3-dimensional isometric perspective. 10 players each control one of the game's 117 playable characters known as heroes, with each having their own design, strength, and weaknesses. Heroes are divided into 2 primary roles, known as the carry and support. Carries, which are called cores, begin each match as weak and vulnerable, but are able to become more powerful later in the game, thus becoming able to carry the team to victory. Support generally lack abilities that deal heavy damage, instead having ones with more functionality and utility that provide assistance for the carries, such as providing healing and other buffs. You'll select your hero during a pre-game drafting phase, where you can also discuss potential strategies and hero matchups with your teammates. Heroes are removed from the drafting pool and become unavailable for all other players once one is selected, and cannot be changed once the drafting phase is over. All heroes have a basic damage dealing attack in addition to powerful abilities. Each hero has at least 4 abilities, all of which are unique, which are the primary method of fighting. Heroes begin each game with an experience level of 1, only having access to one of their abilities, but are able to level up and become more powerful during the course of the game, up to a maximum of level 25. If a hero runs out of health points and dies, they are removed from the active play until a respawn timer counts down to 0, where you are then respawned in your base. The 2 teams, known as the Radiant and Dire, occupy fortified bases in opposite corners of the map, which is also divided in half by a crossable river and connected by 3 paths, which are referred to as lanes. The lanes are guarded by defensive towers that attack any opposing unit who gets within its line of sight. A small group of weak computer-controlled creatures called creeps travel predefined paths along the lanes and attempt to attack any opposing heroes, creeps, and buildings in their way. Creeps periodically spawn throughout the game in groups from 2 buildings called the barracks, and they exist in each lane and are located within the team's bases. In addition to having abilities becoming stronger during the game, you are able to buy items from the set locations on the map called shops that provide their own special abilities. Items are not limited to specific heroes and can be bought by anyone. In order to obtain an item, you must be able to afford it with the gold at the shops located on the map, which is primarily obtained by killing enemy heroes, destroying enemy structures, and killing creeps, with the latter being an act called farming. Only the hero that lands the killing blow on a creep obtains the gold from it, an act called last hitting, but all allies receive a share of the gold when an enemy hero dies close to them. Just looking at the screen, there is a lot going on and can get confusing at times. I'll admit, I did it first, but after a few games, each lasting well over 15 minutes, I was somewhat comfortable. This game cannot be mastered in a few days and would probably take years, but then again, it just depends on who you are playing against, as everyone uses different tactics. If you are looking for a variety of game modes, cool looking characters, and a game where you have to look before you leap, I believe this is the game for you. I definitely recommend this game.
Number 5.
So, what do you get when you mix ninjas and super soldiers? Well, that would be Warframe. It's an online action game that includes elements of shooters, RPGs, and stealth games. You will create your Tenno character, which includes a basic armor unit called a Warframe, which provides you with special abilities, basic weapons such as a melee, guns, sidearms, and a ship. Through the ship's console, you can select any of the available missions to partake in. The main storyline set of missions require you to complete certain missions across planets and moons in the solar system to be able to access relays that you can progress to other planets or locations. Other missions rotate over time as part of the game's living universe. These can include missions with special rewards and community challenges to allow all players to reap benefits if they are successfully met. Aboard the ship, you can also manage all other functions for your Tenno, including managing your arsenal of equipment, customizing your Warframe and weapons, crafting new equipment, and access the in-game store. Missions can be played alone or with up to 4 players in a player versus environment cooperative manner. Each mission is given a ranking that indicates how difficult the mission is. Missions are generally played on randomly generated maps composed of tiles of map sections. Missions have various objectives such as defeating a certain number of enemies, collecting data from terminals without activating alarms, rescuing prisoners, or defending points on the map for set periods of time. Newer updates have added space-bound combat using arc wings and a large open field environment where numerous bounties can be completed. You can use your weapons, special abilities, and a number of parkour style moves to navigate through and overpower forces within these missions. If you are down, you may choose to revive yourself up to a maximum of 6 times, or can be revived by other players an infinite number of times. Once complete, you are rewarded with in-game items, as well as in-game currency and items picked up while exploring the map. Failure to complete a mission causes these rewards to be lost. In addition to cooperative missions, the game includes player versus player content through multiplayer conclave, which also rewards the player for placing high in such matches. You will gain experience and level up from successful missions. Equipment with higher levels can do more damage and support more mods. Special cards that can be slotted into the equipment to change its attributes or provide passive bonuses and abilities. Mods are dropped by enemies during missions and may be part of the rewards, and are generally given out following a rarity distribution, with more powerful mods being more elusive to acquire. You will have other means of improving your equipment, including conditional upgrades called arcane enchantments and riven mods, weapon exclusive mods whose weapon buffs and stats are determined upon unlocking. Another type of reward is equipment blueprints, which can be used to construct new Warframe parts or weapons. Blueprints and their resulting equipment may also be purchased directly using in-game money called platinum. You would need to have specific quantities of construction materials, which are found from missions and their rewards, to build these items. Warframe is not pay to win, and all weapons and other equipment is possible to be acquired in-game over time through grinding. Warframe is a beautiful looking game, and it's easy to lose track of time while playing. The planet system is large with many missions to choose from when they are unlocked. This is a straight action game that lets you show off your acrobatics and visual look of your frame to your friends. The visuals are nice, and the inhabitants are unworldly and unique. Definitely pick this one up.
Number 6.
Heroes of the Storm is just like Dota 2, but a tad bit easier, and that's not saying much because it's still hard. This one is developed by Blizzard and has characters from the franchises such as Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, The Lost Village, and Overwatch. Heroes of the Storm revolves around online 5 vs 5 matches, operated through Blizzard's online gaming service, which is Battle.net, and that's been around for a long time. You can choose from different game modes, which include playing against computer-controlled heroes or other players. Initially, no heroes are permanently available for you to use. However, you may choose from a list of heroes that are free to use from a weekly rotation. By using gold coins, the in-game currency, or through microtransactions, you can gain permanent access to a hero. There are over 80 heroes divided into 6 separate roles: tank, bruiser, ranged, assassin, melee assassin, healer, and support. In addition, there are currently 15 maps available to play, each of which has different objectives to secure, with some having different victory conditions. Experience points, which can be gained by being nearby enemy units when they're killed, are shared across the entire team. When a team reaches a certain experience point threshold, every hero on the team levels up, acquiring slightly amplified powers. Every few levels, you may select a talent which offers a new ability or augments an existing one. This leveling system emphasizes the importance of teamwork and planning, since your actions can affect the whole team. You can also mount different animals such as horses, lizards, or unicorns to increase their movement speed, automatically dismounting when attacking, receiving damage, or using any ability. There are a few game modes to play with. The tutorials mode are composed of 3 scripted levels that are aimed at new players with the intent of teaching movement, use of abilities, and other controls. Training mode lets you team up with 4 AI teammates against 5 AI opponents set at the beginner difficulty. The versus AI has you facing off against 5 AI opponents. Quick match will let you choose your heroes before entering the match without knowing what map you are playing or what heroes you will be matched up with and against. This mode sets 2 teams of 5 human controlled heroes against each other on a random map in a player versus player style combat. These teams are selected based on your past performance to create an even playing field, as well as the roles of heroes chosen. Unranked is a draft mode where each team takes turns choosing heroes. Each team can also ban 2 heroes, so neither team can draft them for that match. You will get the same practice of drafting as in ranked play, but without the additional stress that may come with ranked play. Unlike in ranked play, there is no limitation of maximum party size in this mode. Unranked modes are usually what I play simply because of the stress level that was mentioned before. I'm more of a casual person when playing games like unranked Overwatch. Lastly, there's ranked and a competitive mode called the Storm League. There are a few more, but you'll see them if you decide to play this. Like I said earlier, this is just like Dota 2, and if you like that, you may like this one as well. There is a noticeable difference in art style, but don't let that deter you. This game has familiar characters that may bring some nostalgia when playing with them. One more thing, in case you missed it, Heroes of the Storm matches you against players with a
Number 7.
Well, here we have Killer Instinct, and I hope most of you out there have heard of this one in one form or another, meaning from the iconic voice saying Ultra Combo, or from the kick-ass upbeat music that plays in the background while you play. As a matter of fact, I still have my Killer Cut CD that I got for free with the purchase on the Nintendo 64. Anyway, for those not in the know, Killer Instinct is a fighting game similar to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. It has been on many systems such as the Super NES, the Genesis, Sega CD, and it was also in the arcade. This version was a launch title for the Xbox One and then released for Windows 10 in March of 2016. Anyway, Killer Instinct is a fighting game featuring one-on-one combat and uses 6 buttons, 3 kicks, and 3 punches. You pretty much have to beat the opponent till the life bar is depleted. You have to win 2 out of 3 to win the match. What sets this game apart from some of the other games is the combos you can do. It's ridiculous, but it looks cool when it's going on. So the combo starts off with an opener such as down, diagonal, and left, and then any punch button. Next, you will have to hit the corresponding buttons, which could be medium punch, medium punch, medium punch, then down on the controller, then another set of buttons. If you have successfully kept the combo going, you can then follow it up with what is called an ender, which is either a high punch or high kick. Finally, you get to see the fruits of your labor, which will have your opponent getting pummeled to death. If you find yourself pinned up against the wall and you can't move, you can try to do a combo breaker, which could interrupt the process and give you time to react. If you fail to pull the combo breaker off, then you will be punished by being locked out and you can't do anything for like 3 to 4 seconds. The best combo is the ultra combos, which are computer performed high hit combos used at the end of a match. When your opponent's health is around 15% or less, you perform each of the character's specific ultra as a combo ender. These moves are usually one of your character's special moves with all 3 punch or kick buttons. This version, which is free to play, lets you play online with one character or one of the free random characters that are rotated from the roster. To play any of the other characters, you must either buy the game or the pass. You can also get access to the other characters by playing the storylines. This will not unlock the characters for online play though. This will at least give you some experience with the game and will help you decide if it's worth the purchase or not. If anything, pick it up for the nostalgia and being able to play in 1080p. In my opinion, the game is worth around $20 and no more.
Number 8.
I've made a video about this and you can find it in the video section. I have to recommend Roblox because there are too many games that you can play. Though not the best games and not having the best graphics, they do provide a way for people to play clones of some games without paying big money. Most games do not have blood, so it's pretty safe for kids. You should still watch your children though. The Roblox platform lets new and upcoming developers design a game for themselves or friends without needing complicated coding skills. There are a multitude of genres such as RPG, action, adventure, social, and driving games. To play, you do not need a beefy system, and most machines from the last 3 to 4 years can run it. It's even on mobile, if that tells you anything. Roblox also offers a way for developers to make money by charging for different in-game items. For more info about Roblox, I'll put a link in the description box along with my video. This is definitely recommended for the younger gamers out there, and if you are a parent, do not forget about parental controls. Be safe out there.
Number 9.
Apex Legends. This is a battle royale game where you are grouped into squads of 3, each player selecting a unique legend in turn, and each match features up to 20 teams competing. All teams start with no equipment and are flown over the game's map via dropships from a random direction from which they drop onto any spot on the map they can reach. Teams scour the game's map for weapons, ammunition, and other equipment while fighting to be the last team standing, all while staying within an ever-shrinking safe zone on the map. While playing, you can be knocked down into a vulnerable bleed-out state, while only being able to crawl around for cover or reach a squad mate who can revive you. If you bleed out or an opponent uses a finisher move on you, you're eliminated. You'll drop your equipment and a banner, which can then be looted. You can potentially be respawned if your squad mates can recover the banner in a limited amount of time and take it to one of the several spawn beacons which are scattered on the map. Apex features both voice chat communication with squad mates and contextual single button communication approach that allows you to ping map features like weapons, opponents, or rally points. Apex Legends is supported through microtransactions for cosmetic items and heroes. New cosmetic items can be earned from opening Apex packs, the game's version of loot boxes that contain random assortments of rewards, or spending the in-game currency crafting materials, which are gained through Apex packs as well. Apex packs are freely earned as the player gains experience levels. Additionally, you'll freely gain legend tokens for playing matches as well as for leveling, which are used to unlock new legends and certain cosmetic items. Another currency called Apex Coins is bought with real-world funds and can be used to buy Apex packs, unlock legends, or purchase specific cosmetics. I really liked this game and thought that it was going to give Fortnite a run. Sadly, a lot of the players have left, but it's still trucking along. I wish that the developers would come out with more maps. I feel that the maps are just too small. Everyone should at least give this one a try if you are into Battle Royale. The characters have a style and they're very distinct. One thing about this game is that if you don't move fast enough, your game can be over in 2 to 3 minutes after you land. So move quickly and acquire some weapons.
Number 10.
This last one, I believe everyone knows about. And please don't get mad because this game is killing it. It's free. You don't have to spend a dime even if you are trying to buy a pass. Just get good and you'll amass enough coin to get it. Like Apex Legends, this is a battle royale game. The game normally is played either with each player on their own or in a squad of 2 to 4 players with up to 100 players participating each round. The round starts with you weaponless, skydiving from a floating bus, then deploying a glider onto a region of land. The island's fixed layout includes several landmarks and locations. The goal is to be the last player or team alive by eliminating or avoiding other players. When playing in solo mode, you are immediately eliminated when they exhaust your health. While in squad modes, if you get down, you can crawl around like in Apex while bleeding out. You can be eliminated immediately by an opponent or revived by your squad mates. Over time, the game's safe zone, representing the Eye of the Storm, decreases in size, and if you're caught outside the zone, you will take some damage. This directs the surviving players into tight spaces, forcing player encounters. Supply drops will spawn in random locations during the match, providing random weapons and items. Nearly all objects in the environment can be destroyed and harvested for materials, wood, stone, and metal, which can then be used to build fortifications of limited durabilities, such as walls, ramps, floors, and roofs, which can then be used to help traverse the map and protect you from gunfire or slow down progression of other players. Weaker pieces can be destroyed in a few hits, but it can be rebuilt quickly, while stronger pieces can withstand more punishment but take longer to build. Fortnite is supported by microtransactions that allow you to buy vendor bucks. V-bucks can then be used to buy cosmetic improvements to your character, pickaxe, glider skins, backwear, and emotes. The game is run as seasons, lasting about 10 weeks each. Each season introduces an exclusive set of cosmetic items that can be obtained. These are offered through a dual-track battle pass, which features a number of tiers that you can climb through by earning battle stars through completing in-game objectives. You'll have access to the free track of the battle pass, which offers fewer cosmetics that can be earned by clearing multiple tiers. You can also purchase the Battle Pass Premium track with V-Bucks, which offers more challenges and grants prizes for every tier you advance. As much hate this game gets, and yes, I've said some things too, you have to give it props for sticking around this long. This game has over 250 million players, which is nothing to sneeze at. Wrapping up, if you are curious about this game, go ahead and give it a try. Better yet, get some of your friends together and squad up. You just might have some fun. Meanpooh, out.